George Kirkland. I am the owner of a small animation studio called Montanimations, and I'd like to share with you a dream we've been working on for quite some time. That dream is High in the Sky 1990. Now you might ask yourself, what is High in the Sky 1990? Well, as you can see, it's an anime that takes place in the year 1990. The story goes in 1982, aliens and humans have first contact. Cool. What's also cool is they like us. Double cool. The downside is the aliens asked a question that they really shouldn't have asked.
So, we noticed with our fission scanners that you have a lot of nuclear reactors. Way more than your planet could possibly need. Mostly in this place you call the Soviet Union, the United States, the South Pacific, Algeria, Australia. Actually, they're all over the place. What's up with that?
Oh, don't worry, aliens. Those aren't nuclear reactors. Those are nuclear bombs from, the Cold War we've been having for the past 50 years. And the aliens are like, wait. You weaponized reactors? You psychopaths, don't you know what they do? We know exactly what it does. We've blasted our deserts in a few cities a few times just to see what would happen. You irradiated your own planet? So the aliens are kind of scared of us. But that's okay. We still have a chance to get into their big Galactic Confederation. With the help of their leadership and our technology, they've built the Interstellar School Station, otherwise known as the ISS. Bit of a tongue-in-cheek reference there. The deal is, if 4 of our best and brightest students can get through this entire high school in space, then we have a solid chance to get a seat in this Galactic Confederation. So who are Earth's best and brightest that we send up into the stars? Well, the first character is this young man, William McCallister, from Wyoming, USA. How did William get aboard this prestigious opportunity? Well, his mom is a politician and his dad is a general. Good old-fashioned American nepotism. A few handshakes and a few photo ops, and this man is on the first shuttle into the stars. Downside, he doesn't want to be there. Now why? Well, we all know Neil Armstrong. He went on the moon, walked a few steps, and he was forced to talk about it for the rest of his life. Well, William is going to be the first American to graduate in space. He's going to have to talk about high school for the rest of his life. He doesn't want that. So throughout the show, he's doing everything he can to get expelled. The next character I would like to draw your attention to would be this red-haired girl, Maurice, from former East Germany, but now just Germany. Unlike William, she sees this as an opportunity to get out of her poor, starving, broken, poor East German lifestyle. Now you might ask yourself, she's a bit of a pop-punk young lady. How did she get onto this big, prestigious opportunity to graduate among the stars? Well, she's good at programming. Having access to one of East Germany's room-sized computers at a young age, Anna grew up to be a computing protege and hacker extraordinaire. She's so good at hacking, she hacked her name on the UN roster. Like a good German, she cheated. Now, unlike most of these students that kind of knew what they were getting themselves into, she didn't realize that she would be anxious being in a floating tin can for the next 4 years. So as you can see from the concept art, she's developed a bit of a small smoking habit. Nothing too big, I'm sure. The next character I'd like you to draw your attention to would be Liú Jūn, from China. Now remember, it's the year 1990. The Cold War, barely, but it's still present, is very much alive. So if we're sending 4 of our best and brightest students, 2 are going to come from a democratic country, and the other 2 are going to come from communist countries. We already fumbled up with the American. Germany, who didn't know they were playing, also fumbled the ball, but China did not. Liú Jūn is China's smartest girl. She's extremely intelligent, driven, and will probably be the world's first triple recipient of the Nobel Prize, Olympic medal, and a Grammy for her cello playing. Being top of the class in this whole international experiment will be just a formality for her. Now, what's behind her drive, you ask? Liú has a secret. She's a lesbian, and her country and her society at large does not see that as a positive thing. She wants her star to rise so high that she becomes politically untouchable and is able to live a long, happy life together with a girl of her choosing. And it seems that since transferring, she has taken a shine to a certain girl from East Germany. Now the next human on this roster is Nikolay Patrushev from the USSR, the country that's still just barely alive, the communist country that started this whole Cold War in the first place. Now Nikolay is the last true communist. He believes communism will fall upon all alien countries. He believes that communism will be the leading force of what will drive this Galactic Confederation, and he also believes that it'll all fall under Moscow. He's a bit of a xenophobe because of it, since most alien civilizations aren't communist. And that's all part of Nikolay's quirk. You see, like many Russians, he holds secrets. So Nikolay, how were you able to fly this space shuttle? Oh, do not worry, Comrade William. All KGB agents know how to fly space shuttle. KGB? What's that? Russian Boy Scouts? Hey Nikolay, what are all these war medals doing in your room? Those are not war medals. Those are Boy Scout merit medals. Hey Nikolay, how did you learn to snap your fingers to start fire? I learned this trick in Afghanistan. Afghanistan? What were you doing there? Summer camp. And what's going on with his babushka? Now you might be like George. I don't know who you are. You're clearly trying to mimic Walt Disney, you have all this nerd stuff behind you, you're giving me this long, dreary pitch about this anime that doesn't really exist yet. You seem alright, you're slightly off, but why would you break my heart? My heart is shattered, destroyed, ruined. I don't think I can trust you. Why? Well, you lied to me. Why did you say there are 4 of Earth's best and brightest on this station when there's clearly this 5th guy? Who is this little quirky fellow over here? Who is this 5th kid? Well, don't worry. You can calm down, don't worry. Everything is okay. I didn't lie to you. We did send 4 humans onto the spaceship. That's an alien. I would like to introduce you to our last main character, Conrad, the shape-shifting catboy alien. Now, Conrad is a bit of a quirky character. The way the aliens discovered humanity is through the radio and television waves we've been blaring out since the 1890s. Scientifically, we're a very noisy planet, so the aliens have been watching us like we would a sitcom or an anime. Conrad is a human weeb. He shapeshifts himself to look as human as possible. He has like Charles Lindbergh and Amelia Earhart nendroids and posters. He loves human speech, but the downside is he's only picked up the radio waves from the 1920s. So he thinks we still talk like this. Dollface. The downside for Conrad is he has a massive crush on one of the main characters. And flirting in the 1920s is considered misogyny today, especially with a girl who is quite frankly not interested. So the chemistry between Liú and Conrad is Conrad tries to flirt with Liú, Liú beats the crap out of him. Nikolay, of course, will try to step in, but Conrad will always move out of the way. So he's going to have a tough time throughout the season. We do have some other characters, like Robin Eleanor O'Carney. Eleanor has 2 jobs. Her first job is she has to make this whole damn project look good. No matter what happens on the station, no matter if we got a heavy smoker, if we have a cat boy flirting with humans, even if we have a secret KGB agent or a kid trying to get expelled, even if there's a fire on the station and no one's making friends, she has to sit in front of the camera and say everything is okay. Everything works, everyone's happy, this is a resounding success. Now what helps, quite frankly, with her first job is her second job, which is to be vice principal of this entire school. Thankfully, the principal of the school isn't quite doing his job. Or should I say, principal is a bad principal. That's right. Principal is an AI created by the aliens based on the United States education system. He's an idiot. He's a moron. He's trying this new wave of teaching that was popular in the 1990s. Stuff like instead of detention, it's re-education classes. Or writing an essay on what you did wrong. That kind of thing. It's quite frankly not working. Principal really doesn't do his job well. Eleanor has to step up and has to, get the stuff done. Then there's Christy McCauley. Now, Christy McCauley might look familiar to you, to some of you historians out there, and that's because she's based on Krista McAuliffe, a victim of NASA's incompetence during the Challenger disaster. Krista McCauley is going to be the kind, loving, caring, wise character that the main cast is going to come up to whenever they have a problem. I want to portray Chrissy as the good high school teacher that everyone remembers Krista as, because she's always wanted to teach in space. And it makes sense that in this timeline there would be a competition like there was in our timeline to put a teacher in space. I saw an opportunity, it makes sense, and I want to portray her in the right way. Now we do have some other aliens. We have some concept art that I can show you that is finished. I would like to show you Becky, the slime girl, originally designed by one of our animators, Sign-On, but redrawn by our other animator, Noodle. Now Becky, as you can see, is a slime alien. She's one of the main tools used in one episode by William in order to get expelled, and she eventually becomes Lou's best friend. During the episode when Liú and Nikolay form their own communist club and fight with each other, she joins Liú's communist club and becomes her right-hand woman. We also have Kipper, a psychic alien that has no mouth. He can only communicate telepathically, but not all of us are telepathic. So he has to wear a headband that translates all of his thoughts into speak. The downside is, it's translating all of his thoughts into speak. So, he says a few things that he doesn't quite mean to say. We also have Zebulon, or Zeb, a literal star, the cool kid in the group. We also have a number of aliens still in development that'll work as background aliens. As you can see with the concept art, we've quite figured out the inside of the station. I'm going for an optimistic space aesthetic from the 60s and 70s, but constructed in the 90s. If you guys are wondering what genre High in the Sky is going to be, Saturday morning cartoons. I love the memory, and I want to bring back the nice, cartoonish, simple feeling of watching shows like The Proud Family, Garfield and Friends, and Yu-Gi-Oh! I want to bring that memory back into reality. This type of show is very nostalgic to me, and that's what I want to bring to High in the Sky. We currently have one season written, and we're working on a minimal viable product, a visual novel in which you can interact with the Interstellar School Station, as well as these 5 characters. Now I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to create a VN that reinvents all VNs. But what I will give you is a product. I'll give you a world that you can interact in, explore the characters and explore the station, and I'm going to give it to you in a reasonable amount of time. I'm not going to tell you some outrageous date, like by Valentine's Day or by the 4th of July. We're going to push, and we're going to get this VN done in a year. By next Christmas, you shall have your minimal viable product. What I'm asking for right now is a little bit of support. We all know those Kickstarter fails. I've been a part of a few of them. You remember Knights of Illyrium? That's why I decided to open an Etsy store instead. By buying these products, you are not only helping High in the Sky become a reality, but you're also helping me support these animators. Animators that have been part of my team for 2 years working on client work, but now we're investing in this IP. Each of these stickers, when you get them, you're directly supporting that animator. This is Satch. Mozoms did this one. Invader Dren designed this. Noodlebomb designed this one. And so did Sign-On. We're a small team but determined. We want to see this project through. These stickers are 8 by 6, and this poster over here is 11 by 17. I'm gonna be honest, I've been quite nervous filming this, since this is the first time I'm letting people know of our existence. And I want to make sure we get this thing done right and properly, in a way that makes you feel comfortable, and in a way that could also make this dream a reality. If you just want to support us directly, we also have a Patreon, in which I will post updates regularly of both concept art, character designs, what we've been working on. And every week on Saturday morning on this channel, you will have something that shows you that we're getting closer and closer to releasing that visual novel and to the first pilot of this show. We cannot afford secrecy. I'm going to be as transparent with you guys as possible and as honest. This is a pretty big project and we are a pretty small team. But with your help and in due time, we can get this thing done. And we can get this thing done right. I want to thank you for listening to my story. And I'd also like to thank my Montanimators for working quite diligently on this project and believing in it as much as I do. I really want this to work, and I really want this to work the right way. Down below you'll find a link to all of our socials, our Etsy, our Patreon, as well as the socials for our Montanimators. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and thank you. We're filming?